welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. I am Theresa Fieberts, and you are a group that really knows how to throw a good party. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's who you are. Oh, my gosh, what an amazing, amazing, amazing day last Sunday was. I just thank every one of you for your participation, for your involvement, for your hands, your hearts, your money to help make it happen, your everything. It was simply amazing, beyond Ananda, beyond. Yeah, fabulous. So, also, you are a divine incarnation of the One. That's where the power comes from for us to be able to do such exquisite parties, to be able to have so much fun. And together, we are creating a world that works for everyone. That sounds like a really big idea, but it is not too big for us. It is not too big for us. We start right where we are. And all the power we need, all the possibility that there is for a transformation such as a world that works for everyone is right here, right now. We go nowhere to get it. We don't have to do anything special. It is right here, right now. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Amen. That is true. So all month long, we've been talking about this thing called vulnerability, and we're wrapping it up today on the heels of that party. And I'm going to use what happened, but, you know, it's like a paradox. Vulnerability is a paradox. It really is one of those paradoxes in life, you know, like flexibility comes from strength. We know that in yoga, right? Flexibility comes from strength. The palm trees are way stronger than the pine trees that snapped in the middle of that hurricane around my house because the palms were swaying, the rigid pines snapped, right? Right. The less resistant we are, the more traction we have. These things are true. Many of you will probably remember Reverend Carol Carnes. She was here at CPL many years ago. She has this quote: "Everything about vulnerability suggests openness, expansiveness, inclusiveness, a kind of welcoming of all life into our world. Unafraid, we move through our life experience with confidence, then confidence of someone who knows who they are." You are power and possibility. So let's take that idea right now into the beginning of our service to know that there is a divine flow. There is a presence, a power, the very source of life itself, right here, right now. I know it intimately as me. It is in me, through me. It flows when I get out of the way. And I know that not only for myself, but for each one of us here in this room, for everyone at home, for everyone that tunes in here at any time to listen to this message. This is the truth of all life, that from that infinite, invisible realm of complete and total possibility, all good, comes form. Every manner of matter is that in form. And I know all the power, all the possibility resides within. And so whether it is the music, the message, the reading, the person next to you, the yummy coffee, whatever it is, this beautiful garden, whatever it is, this day, this morning, we are moved to know the truth of who and what we are. Yeah. And we take that out into the world and create a world that works for everyone. Yeah. And so it is, so we do.
So it is.
Amen.
So it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Theresa. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, Bobby.
We have Joyful Noise this morning. Joyful Noise, our band, and we're starting with a thank you. We're doing a song by Karen Drucker called Amazingly Awesome, and I know you've heard it before. You want to sing along, you're welcome. 2, 3, 4. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. 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 I sing my little mantra, gonna get it in my head. Today is a party, gonna leap on out of bed. I start my day this way, knowing everything is okay. It's good for the good in everything, makes me wanna say, oh, something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. 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 It's not out in the future, it's right before my eyes. Beauty, joy, and wonder, it's time I realize that every moment is a gift. All it takes is the slightest shift. See the good in everything and make you wanna say, oh, something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. 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 That's amazing. How can I be open to it? Gratitude, gratitude. What if I'm not really feeling it? Gratitude, gratitude. Believe in the power of what I say will be. I finally learned the lesson that gratitude is the key. Amazing, amazing, it's all amazing. 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 Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Joyful Noise. And I would like to change the words of that to something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. I think something amazingly awesome is happening to me right now.
Right now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Grove. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center, and I have the reading for today. And it is from Living the Science of Mind, which is Dr. Ernest Holmes' commentary on his own book, The Science of Mind. And it is from a section called Be Yourself. There is a divine person back of our personality, a unique manifestation of the living Spirit. It is never alike in any two people. This is proved by the fact that no two persons' thumbprints are alike, no two blades of grass are alike, no two anythings are identical, and yet everything is rooted in one life, one presence, and one power. Why then should we expect that any two individuals should be alike? God itself has placed a unique stamp on everyone. We should not study to be alike, but rather to develop what we really are. Unity does not mean uniformity. Our unity with other people does not mean that we must think and act as they do. All it means is that we should get along with them. We should unify with everything, while at the same time keeping intact and whole that God-given something at the center of our being, which is the spiritual ego. To find this true center is the end and aim of our search. This divine person within us has, in a sense, one hand placed in the hand of God and the other outstretched to humanity. For the person who finds themselves in God will discover God in others. They will see things in a different light than will be the one who thinks they are alone. They will draw strength and inspiration from life itself, for no one can live without God and be whole. Since everything is included in God, for God is the only presence and power there is, the person who wants to be the most themselves will have to be the one who has discovered more of themselves in that which is greater than they are. Our capacity to think, to live, and to move is non-physical. There is an invisible presence hidden within us, which has as its source in a higher power, and which acts through our actions, wills through our minds, and reveals itself in what we are doing. At the center of our being, there is a divine person, a unique incarnation of God. This is the source of all real inspiration. Here and here alone, at the center of our being, is the real creative power. The question is whether we are living from this center or whether we are thinking of ourselves as detached, separated, divided, alone, and inadequate. We all have direct access to the infinite presence, the universal person. There could be no more beautiful thought than that the divine spirit itself, infinite as it is also within us. And with this acceptance of God, there must come an acceptance of the real self, that self which blossoms in our relationships with others and finds fruit in its own action.
Wow. Thank you, Jim. Namaste. Whew. That's some good stuff. Remember when we were in school, I think most of us are the age we can remember having to get a permission slip to go into the hall?
Yeah.
So this is your permission slip to be here right now, to lay aside this morning or yesterday or last week or last month or whatever may have prevented you from being your very highest and very best, to open your heart, open our one mind, bare our souls, and receive what the Spirit has for us today. To Be Here by Karen Drucker. Trust that I got this. I know that I know I got all that I need, so it's time to let go. I'm through with complaining, living life small. Every emotion, I wanna feel them all. I spend too much time censoring who I am. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. I am here. I am here to be here. I am present. I let it all be. I have uncovered a truth about me. The veil has been lifted that always kept me apart. No longer hiding, I'm ready to start. Step into my power and trust my heart. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. I am here. I am here to be here. No place I would rather be. It's time I let the whole world see this brilliant light that shines in me. It's who I am, who I really am. I am ready, I am moving, I let go of all my fears. Finally, I know I am enough. I am open, I am willing, I am feeling free and clear. Finally, I'm seeing I am worthy to be here. To be here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here to be here. To be here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here to be here.
Take a breath. Wow. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Got a couple affirmations for you. We're going to look at these a couple times. I step into power and possibility of vulnerability. I step into the power and possibility of vulnerability. I am seen and known for who I am. I am seen and known for who I am. And I am loved. That's right. All month, we've been talking about this thing called vulnerability, defining it, gaining clarity around it, looking at what it is and why it's important in our lives. One of my favorite definitions is a really super short one from Brené Brown, of course, as this is her life's work. It's being all in. It's being all in. All in. I remember the first time I ever heard Reverend Temple Hayes, and she had this cute little shtick to open up her talk. You know, what if the hokey pokey is what it's all about? Well, then, you know, I'm not going to just dangle this or dangle this, right? I'm all in, and I'm shaking it all about, right? Because that is feeling the fear and doing it anyway, right? So last Sunday, we witnessed vulnerability, whether you knew it or not. You were witnessing vulnerability, and hopefully you experienced it as well and allowed yourself to move through it, because vulnerability is a key ingredient to our own personal transformation and to community transforming and expanding and becoming a greater entity, which we're going to get to. But it also can stop some people in their tracks, this thing called vulnerability. It can also keep us from having new relationships, having intimate relationships. It can keep us from starting a new career. It can keep us from exploring creative endeavors. It can keep us playing small. So my job is to dare you to show up. My job is to dare you to show up and be seen. And I say all the time, this is your playground for that, you know? Let us just agree this is the safe space for us to do that, right? This is the safe space, because vulnerability is necessary. It's the building blocks for a thriving and healthy community. For all of us, that's a reciprocal thing. And I really can see in my mind's eye that is the radical shift that we need in this world today. That is the radical shift that we need for us to be able to prioritize authenticity. Yeah? To prioritize it. To be open, what did she say? To be open and willing when somebody walks in the door to receive them and to show them who you are. Yeah? Yeah. Again, Brené Brown, she says that vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. Yes. And in the Science of Mind, it's Centers for Spiritual Living all over the globe. We have this thing called the Global Vision. It's over on that table. It's on cardstock because I think it's more important that you not fold it up and put it in your pocket, but leave it up to read. And in part, that says, we envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. We see a world in which every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. Can you get behind that idea? Yeah. So I think, humbly, this event that we had last week was a great success. Just an absolute phenomenal success. Yeah, give yourselves a hand. And it did not happen without vulnerability. And let me just say, to start with, my own. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this morning we're looking at power, possibility, and transformation. the power, the possibility, and transformation that vulnerability brings to us. The power. You know, authenticity alone is powerful, just plain and simple. When we own our word, when we speak with our true voice, when we show up in our true self, I mean, however it expresses through you, it is powerful when we are authentic. And it's necessary to living a life out loud that's only really made possible, I think, when we show up authentically and when we move in as and through that vulnerability, when we show up in that way. It's a starting place, right, for authenticity. Vulnerability is, it's the starting place. And it's the place where we can stand and allow that creative power then to move through us. That reading was just so spot on, Jim. It was so perfect for this. So again, vulnerability played a role in last week, and first and foremost, for me to be able to share my idea with the board that I wanted to have a New Thought tent revival. And that word wasn't necessary, the phrase wasn't necessarily going over well, you know, but I wanted to have a New Thought tent revival. That's what I want. So I had to work with the board and get buy-in, right? And then we decided we wanted it to be free for people, that anybody could come and enjoy what we were presenting last week. And in order to do that, then we had to have sponsors, right? So then the sponsors had to have buy-in for it, right? So what I want you to know is that this idea was a divine idea. And I'm going to own that in front of you. That this idea came to me decades ago. And it was something that has been tapping me on the shoulder for quite some time. To where I finally said, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to step out and do it, right? And then I had to get the buy-in. Well, that's vulnerable. That takes vulnerability, right? But it was a divine idea whose time had come. And each one of us, what I want you to get on this is each one of us were receptors to those divine ideas. And the ideas aren't necessarily the same that come to you, that come to me. They come to us specific. Yeah? We hear them specifically. And so it is our charge then to allow it to move, to give it life. We're conduits for ideas. And new ideas are going to require that we stretch, that we grow, that we expand in consciousness. That's why they're new. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And so housed within each one of us is the ability to bring everything we have to life in these new ideas that come to us. Every one of us are empowered to believe and to know through our own willingness how it is that we are to be vulnerable and authentic. The way I am vulnerable and authentic is not the way you are. It's not the same for each one of us. That's a key piece to it. But when we do it, it's like we drop a pebble into the water, and you know this, don't you? It ripples. It ripples. And it's affecting everyone around you and everything around you and all the circumstances around you. I watched that happen with this event. It was simply amazing. There's infinite possibilities waiting to be explored. And each one of you as unique expressions of the divine, everyone at home, unique expressions of the divine. There is ideas and opportunities to come forth through you, right? So behind the scenes, let me tell you some of the vulnerability that we saw behind the scenes that maybe you didn't know. You picked up a little bit that Emily was supposed to be doing music in the morning, and she was going to do some music in the afternoon, and she wasn't feeling well. And Saturday evening, I was having dinner with my minister friends, and I got a text message from her that she wasn't well and she wasn't going to be able to be there in the morning to do the song. And my friend Cindy looks at me from across the table and says, "Do you want me to do the song?" And I didn't want to bug Emily anymore. So we looked online, we couldn't find the music. And I looked at Linda, my friend Linda, and I said, do you know Gary Lynn Floyd? Oh, of course I do, we're good friends. Can you get the music? I mean, a minute, 2 minutes. Gary Lynn Floyd had texted the music to her, she texted it to Bobby and I. Bobby says, I'm gonna finish my dinner, I'm gonna go home and learn the song. Cindy and I got home from dinner around 9:30 and she began to learn the song. She had never sang the song before. Now let me tell you something else about that. As Cindy told you, we met probably about 10, 11 years ago. Our first retreat, at the Holmes Institute, we did all our retreats on cruise ships. It was pretty awesome. And our first cruise was, Cindy told me, we always roomed together, and she tells me late one night, I used to sing as a child. Story goes, and I don't sing anymore because of these circumstances. And I encouraged her to step beyond those circumstances and sing. And she sang on that cruise, and every cruise thereafter, she won the talent contest. Everywhere we went, we're in the elevator, you know, everybody's got the drinks in their hands, and we're here, Cindy, Cindy, you're my favorite, Cindy, I want you to win, I'm voting for you. I mean, I can't imagine Cindy not singing. I cannot imagine Cindy not singing. Cindy reminds us not to waste our pain or our suffering or our stories or whatever the circumstances are. They are meant to be used for a greater good. That is her quote. Yes. They are meant to be used for greater good. So, so that's one of the stories. Not so behind the scenes is Miss Diana over here, right? Out there on the skinny branches, up here talking with the Reverend Doctors, wasn't she? Oh yeah, holding her own with the Reverend Doctors. She showed up to be seen and to be heard. But my dear, you're felt. We feel you, and we thank you for that vulnerability that you show us so we can open it opens your heart, doesn't it, when she opens hers? Yes. That's such an amazing thing, how that is, but when I cry very easily. When somebody cries in front of me, I cry. You know, I'm like, my heart's just, I cry. There's something amazing about that reciprocal thing about when I show up real, it gives you permission to show up real. You know that? Yeah, and then life is better for all of us. So, how about me? I was out there on the skinny branches, wasn't I? Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So that was another, divine idea that came to me that I didn't say no to. I'm out doing my morning walk with my headphones and my earbuds in, and Bill Withers starts singing Lean on Me, and so I start making up sign language, right? I was making up sign language. I'm walking through my neighborhood, and I'm like, lean on me, and I got all these big gregarious, hand motions going. I'm sure my neighbors are like, calm cops. So instead, I called Charlene McCarthy. Who in here knows Charlene? Charlene, we love you. We love you. Charlene signed at CPL, Center for Positive Living, back in the day. And then I remember one particular song that she did in a white dress, flowy white dress, and she danced it. Oh, she danced that song. And it was so incredibly beautiful. And that had to have been a good 25 years ago. But I never lost that image. And it came to me to do it. And so I said, okay. all right, I'm going to go out on the stick and eat branches. So I called her and I said, hey, listen, I got this idea. I want to do this thing. And we got plenty of time. It's next month. That was like the 23rd of March. And I said, it's on the 23rd of April. And she said, can you come today? So I only met with her once. She told me how we interpret, how sign language is interpreted. And long story shortened, she gave me a big dictionary like this and sent me on my way. She did not think I was going to pull it off. But here's the thing. I'm not Charlene McCarthy. I'm not I don't own Viscom, her business. It's not my business. I don't do sign language. I've never done it before. But I had an idea come to me, and it opened my heart, and I wanted to do that for you. I wanted you to see in a different way and hear in a different way what my heart was saying about I'm here for you, and that there's going to be a time when I need someone to lean on. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. And then when Reverend Linda asked you all to impromptu raise your hands and show me love, that could have been a vulnerable moment for some of you. I do have still shots of it, so I know who raised their hands and who didn't. But not really. Not really. I just wanted to get you. Not really. But there was nothing more beautiful than that for me, to see your love as your hands raised in support. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Many of you danced. Many of you went and got healing work. Maybe you'd never eaten from a food truck. I don't know, but there was vulnerability stuff going on, I think. There was vulnerability stuff going on. And it was a perfect event for me. The only thing that could have made it better is that the music kept going and I had my tent and I could have camped out. That would have been, the only thing that would have made it better. Sharing you with my mentors and my colleagues and my family. Wow. To have my mom see my community and experience my community. Big wow. There were just lots and lots of portal moments for me. One of them was the fire dancers, and I haven't completely unpacked this, but I just bawled. I had a visceral experience watching them. And I think it was because understanding the danger and the freedom that I was seeing, the combination of danger and freedom, that's vulnerability too. That is vulnerability too. And it was so dramatically displayed for us. I've walked on fire. I know the danger. That's real fire. It wasn't fake fire they were spinning with. Yeah, wow, vulnerability. Did you experience expansion on Sunday? I did. I most definitely did. So, power, possibility, vulnerability creates a unique opportunity for the power of possibility to happen in our lives, to make itself known, both individually and collectively. I sent out an email to you, asking you if there's ways that you feel like you react or you respond, one or the other, when you're in a vulnerable place, when it's risky business for you. And here's one of the things I heard, that this person found that they could stand their ground. Stand their ground. Now, not in a puffed up way, but stand their ground in the allness and the omniscience, in that knowing who we are, right? That Jim read about. To be able to stand your ground in the fullness of who you are. And then all the challenges become kind of minuscule. And she said, we all have, I don't know, insecurities. Burdens, I don't know, what's insecurities? We all have them, right? We all have insecurities. But she said she can just show up and be, stand her ground, know who she is. And in that just being comes the realization of really what that means, who she is, all that she is, what she's connected to, what is her resource and source. Wow. Think about the next time you just stand in your vulnerability for a moment and realize how amazing you actually are. That was brilliant. Life unfolds automatically when we do that. We're guided, we know the next thing to do, the next great idea comes, and it's done easier and easier all the time. She said her communications get better when she's in that place of standing ground. Quote, I speak a better truth with vulnerability and I like it. Isn't that great? I speak a better truth with vulnerability and I like it. God is all there is, I am. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Vulnerability dissolves barriers. It reduces the experiences of disconnection that we have. It opens doors to greater awareness of the divine presence that's here and all around us, sitting inside the neighbor right next to you. Yeah. And it breaks old molds like Cindy broke. Can't imagine Diana not singing for us. Right, Effie not singing for us. What if Bobby had put away his guitar when arthritis started coming to his fingers? Sad. Couldn't let that happen, could we? God, he was hot on Sunday, wasn't he? His guitar playing? Wow, his guitar playing was something. That takes vulnerability. Takes vulnerability. Mark Nepo in the book of Awakening, the sweetness of life comes to us when the very humanness we regret and try to hide, our seeming flaws and shameful secrets, are worked by time and nature into a honey all of their own. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that great? Don't you love that? Into a honey all their own. That, my dears, is transformation. That is transformation. It helps us reshape our lives. And I believe it can change the social narrative, the social construct that we find ourselves in right now. And we're doing that. We're creating sacred space for transformation. Not only for me, because that was a transformative moment, day, time for me, but for each one in here and for the world, because we can't help sharing what we know when we know that we know that we know that we know. Here's the reality of it. To be alive is to be vulnerable. To be in relationship is to be vulnerable. To be in community is to be vulnerable. To love is to be vulnerable. So I got homework for you. Yeah. Homework. I want you to find someone. It can be a practitioner. It can be me. Wait. All right. Here's the prompt. The thing I don't want you to know about me is... Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Find someone and tell them a story about you. The thing I don't want you to know about me is... And you can start small. You can start small. But I want you to practice that this week. Share a story about yourself with someone. And then listen to their story. It's a real gift that you're giving them to do that. Yeah? All right. So let's close with these affirmations. I step into the power and possibility of vulnerability. Yeah. I am seen and known for who I am.
I am seen and known for who I am.
And I am loved.
I am loved.
And I am loved.
I am loved.
You are loved. Thank you.
So Theresa, what is it we say that what someone doesn't want to know about us?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I'm going to tell you something.
What I
don't
don't want
want
you to know about me.
I don't want you to know about me. That I don't have to sing opera. I can rock.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think this is up.
Okay.
But
I'm really self-conscious of my
Ready?
tooth that pokes out when I smile, so I hide it with my hand sometimes.
right on, right on, right on, right on. Yeah, right on. All right. Kit Holmes. Theresa let me know that she's a reverend. And she sings. And she's got albums and CDs, and she's awesome, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, this one is called It's a New Day, because Theresa, the day after your ordination, you started with a new day. Yeah. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a new day, it's a new day, it's a new day.
Thank you, Effie, and Joyful Noise. And Effie, by the way, you do rock. So now it's time for our offering. It's time for us to return the gift that we've received back to the source of our good, the source of our spiritual well-being, of our development and growth. And I have a short quote from Dr. Ernest Holmes to share with you about this. He says in the article from the May issue of Science of Mind magazine, in his article, which is entitled, "You Get What You Give," it says, "The gifts of life can be multiplied only through our use of them. And so, as we give, so shall we receive. As we believe, so shall it be done. As we think and expect, so shall we experience." So if you would take that consciousness into what you're bringing forward as your gift during this offering time. For those of you at home, there is a banner scrolling right now telling you how you can contribute financially to our center as well. And just know this with me, that my gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper, and the divine flow returns it to me, multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
So it is.
Sing it for us, Joy.
All right, thank you, Jim. Let's sing together.
Have a few announcements for you this morning. First of all, on Monday evenings, we do have our meditation time with our own Rockin' Effie and Julie Birch. If you want more information about that, you can find it in our newsletter, on our website, and you can also talk to Effie after the service if you'd like to join in. Also, we do have Wednesday night Spiritual Living Circle that I facilitate. And that's a great time to join in and be more part of your community and get more in depth into your spiritual development and growth with other people who are like-minded. And if you would like to know more about that, it's in the newsletter. We have a flyer back here on the table, and you can also speak to me after the service. On May 21st, we're having a workshop by David Winfrey, Serving as Conduits of Healing Source Energy, from 12:30 to 3 o'clock. So you'll find more information about that in our newsletter. prayer requests. If you have a need that you would like to be supported in, I'm the practitioner of the day, and I'd be glad to meet with you after the service over here next to the screen. Behind the screen, we'll have a little bit of privacy, and we'll have a brief prayer, a 5-minute miracle. You can also submit your prayer requests on a prayer request form here next to that screen and put it in the basket. Or you can submit your prayer requests through prayer@cslculturalcoast.org, and just know that you'll be kept in positive, affirmative prayer for the coming week by our 10 spiritual practitioners and 2 ministers. Also, we do have our newsletter, as I mentioned, and we have our Facebook and website, CSLculturalcoast.org. So please check that out. And that is it for the announcements for today.
All right, thank you, Jim. We're going to finish up with a song from Bob Sima called Raise the Vibe. 2, 3, 4. There's a
It was awesome.
Go, Robert. I think they were ready to keep going.